I used to be the friend who rolled her eyes when girls defended their boyfriends. You know the type. He's really trying while he shows up late again. He's just stressed while he forgets her birthday. I swore I'd never be that girl. Then I became that girl. Let's call him Tyler. We'd been together 2 years and honestly, things were getting stale. Not bad, just predictable. Date nights were Netflix and whatever food arrived fastest. Conversations felt like we were reading from the same boring script. I started wondering if this was just what relationships became after the honeymoon phase wore off. My sister Emma kept making comments. He seems checked out lately. My friend Jess was more direct. When's the last time he planned anything for you? I'd shrug it off, but deep down I was asking myself the same questions. Then something shifted. It was subtle at first. Tyler started asking about my day differently. Not the usual how was work while scrolling his phone, but actual follow-up questions. He remembered details I'd mentioned weeks ago. Small things, but they added up. The real change hit me on a random Tuesday. I'd had the worst day, crying in my car after a meeting where my boss basically told me I wasn't ready for the promotion I'd been working toward for months. I texted Tyler expecting the usual "that sucks babe" response. Instead, he showed up at my apartment an hour later with my favorite Thai food and a handwritten note. Not a text. An actual note. It said he'd been thinking about how hard I'd been working and that he was proud of me even when work couldn't see it yet. He'd also brought my favorite candle and queued up that documentary I'd mentioned wanting to see months ago. I cried harder than I had all day, but for completely different reasons. This became the new normal. Random flowers on Wednesday. A playlist he made during his lunch break. Weekend plans that weren't just "what do you want to do?" He started praying with me before meals without me asking. He'd hold my hand during the prayer and I could tell he actually meant it. Emma noticed first. Tyler seems different. More present? Then Jess started in. What's gotten into him? This feels like love bombing. Guys don't just change like that. That's when the defending started. He's not love bombing, he's just being thoughtful. Maybe he's finally growing up. You don't see how he is when we're alone. They exchanged looks. The kind that says your friend is being naive and you feel bad for her. It got worse when Tyler started planning actual dates. Not expensive ones, but intentional ones. A picnic in that park where we had our first kiss. A cooking class because I'd mentioned wanting to try something new together. A bookstore date where we each picked something for the other person to read. This is weird, Jess said after I told her about the bookstore thing. Normal guys don't suddenly become romantic after 2 years. What's he hiding? That hit wrong. I snapped. Maybe the problem is you think being thoughtful is abnormal. Maybe you're so used to guys who don't try that you can't recognize when one does. She backed off, but I could see it in her face. She thought I was being played. The truth came out 3 months later. We were at dinner and I asked him directly what changed. He got quiet for a long time, then told me he'd finished some 90-day challenge he'd been doing. Said he realized he'd been coasting and that I deserved better than his leftovers. I didn't want to tell you while I was doing it, he said. I needed to know I could actually change before I made promises about it. I texted Emma that night. Tyler told me about the challenge thing he's been doing. I was right. He really was trying. She texted back immediately. What challenge? I realized I didn't actually care what it was called or how it worked. I just knew that 3 months ago I was wondering if we had a future, and now I can't imagine one without him. My friends still think I'm being naive. Maybe I am. But when someone shows up for you every day for 90 days straight, at some point you stop calling it luck.